Corporate career responsibility is a call to all experts and consultants to give back their time, skills, knowledge, and expertise to mentor and nurture future industry leaders. Are you passionate in nurturing future industry leaders and professionals who will take enterprise to a higher level? Corporate Career Academy, together with Student TV, is giving you an opportunity to share your knowledge, skills, and mentor students and young professionals.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another session of the Corporate Career Academy Study Abroad. Today, we are privileged to have two ladies who will be speaking to us on studying abroad. And our focus today is the UK. UK is one of the best destinations for students who are going to study, and we'll be able to learn from our guests what happens in the UK, what opportunities are in the UK, why should a student choose UK as an area, as a destination of study? So without going further, today we'll have two of the speakers will have different roles. One, we have an alumni of Unicef who has gone through Unicef, known the processes. When we talk about free services offered by Unicef, most people will say, no, nothing is for free in this country. So she'll be able to take us through how Unicef has been of support. Again, we'll also be able to listen from Unicef themselves, what they do in terms of supporting students who are going to study abroad and at what level. So one of the other things we'll look at are the requirements for you to study in abroad. What are the requirements? Which universities are available? And with this one, I have two ladies here. I'll start with Habib from Unicef. Habib, welcome to our discussion. This is Corporate Career Academy, where we try to put perspective into career, guiding students and professionals to make informed choices. So welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Livingstone. It's so nice for you to have us, guys. And I'm actually happy to be here just to share exactly what we do. I do understand you've had a couple of sessions with Unicef before on different countries and everything, but I'm specifically here today to talk about the UK. So I've worked for Unicef for close to 10 years right now. And I've been, it's been a wonderful journey for me because I've just been working with students or promoting the UK as a study destination. So we do get, we have different services that we actually offer all our students. And I would just touch on a few of them. I'm not so sure what has been, what you know about Unicef. So Unicef is basically a placement agency. So when we talk about placement agency, where the students usually come to when they're thinking about going to study abroad. So if you're looking to go study in the UK, Canada, Australia, the US, students would normally visit us just to get more options and to try out different markets or get more information on the different markets. So basically, under our portfolio, we offer all our services are usually free. So all the services that we offer to you students are usually free of charge. We do not charge you for any of our services. So one of the services I talk about is usually career counseling. So when we talk about career counseling is we do get quite a number of students who are usually still in high school and have not decided what they want to study. So, they have maybe 2 or 3 things they're passionate about and they're interested in studying, or, I'm passionate about this, but my parents would want me to do this. So sometimes they're conflicted on, exactly what to study. So they would come to us for career counseling. This is where we take them through the options available. What are the courses that are currently trending in the market? What are you strong? We'll look at what your strong points are in terms of your subjects and everything, and also in terms of your talent. So you can find someone is very good, or they can do in art, they're very good. So they can draw, but they don't want to do that. They want to opt for something else. So we usually try find a balance to be able to find a course that would suit this student better. So we do individual counseling, and we would sit with the student and just take them through a series of sessions where we discuss different things until we identify what the student is actually strong or their strong point or course, and then we actually assist them in now doing the application. So then now after we've done career counseling, we would move to university admissions. This is where they sit with us and would explore the portfolios of the different universities we have. So if we have over 150 universities in the UK and a student is interested in studying business or law, like Saida was interested, would give her all the options in terms of the UK universities that actually offer law. and then we'll try and balance those universities depending on, the students' grade requirements, their interests, and the sort of like area they're keen on to study. Would give them latest information on the courses and latest information on the universities. So anything pertaining like scholarships, if there are any universities offering scholarships for students, we talk about that. We talk about the visa application process and that sort of thing. So we would guide the student from the word go. So we would start by picking the course for you, nailing it down to your 5 universities that you need to apply to. And then now we continue moving all the way to now the visa application process. So would assist the student doing to do all these things until they actually land in the UK and they're at the university and they've settled. And we offer all these services free of charge. Aside from that, we also do have a different service we provide for students, whereby we do get applicants who want to do like different examinations. So we do have GMAT examinations, we have the PTE exams that are actually offered at Uniserv itself, and we would guide and help students to book these exams and just sit for the exams. So in a nutshell, that is what Uniserv is all about. We do have offices in different parts of the country, and that's Nairobi, Mombasa. We do have an office in Kigali, Tanzania as well, and Uganda. So we are actually placed all over just to assist students, and I'm sure Livingstone will be in a position to actually share our details with you guys, my number if you want to reach out to us, and our different locations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Saida, for that
Livingstone, did I miss out on anything?
Yeah, maybe one of the things they need to understand are the universities, the requirements, and probably the courses, something you can elaborate on. Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like the requirements, we usually give general requirements at this point because it's all based on individual basis or what the student is actually coming in for. So we do have students who come in directly from sitting for their KCSE and they want to go to the UK to study. So most of these students would probably go for what we call a foundation program. Now, when it's a foundation program, the requirements are very simple. We just need to see your KCSE result slip, your living certificate, copy of your passport, and you're good to go. We'll try match you up to the universities that would accept you with the grades that you have. Now, if you have very good grades, say, for example, B+ and above, there are some students who would be accepted directly into the universities. So you will go for first year and not a foundation program, but the entry requirements are usually the same. Other than that, the only thing that you need to add there is your personal statement. So a student usually needs to write their personal statement just to tell us why they want to apply for that course, when they realize they have an interest in that course, and what they plan to do with that course when they actually come back home. And for our master's students, it's usually straightforward as well. Master's courses in the UK are usually just 1 year or 2 years, depending on the program that you actually choose. And so for your requirements, we'd probably need you to get your transcripts, that's from high school, uni, and then you'd get reference letters if you've done any like sort of work experience, and then a copy of your passport, and we should be able to actually do your application for you. So they vary from uni to uni because it also depends on the courses that students want to do. If you want to go for like art-based courses, you have to add a portfolio to that. If you want to go for medical courses for students, we usually emphasize on you having a very strong personal statement. We also need you to have done some sort of like work experience, work experience in terms of even community work, shadowing a doctor in a hospital. We need to see that, and you would be required to actually do an interview as well before they actually shortlist you for the course. So I think that's it actually. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, one of the few questions I get asked is, Unicef is offering free service. You know, Kenyans don't like free services. Kindly clarify that. They don't like free things.
Oh, okay. I mean, we get that question a lot of the times, but I would explain why our services are actually free for the students. As I explained before, Uniserv is a placement agent. So what we've done is a lot of unis approached us to ask us to provide these services to their students. So we don't ask students, we're not allowed to ask students to pay for any of our services because we're paid by the university for the services given to the students. That's why we normally say all our services are free. And I think students should actually take advantage of that. It's actually real. We do not charge you. And Saida would be here to talk about her whole experience with Uniserv and how she didn't pay a penny to Uniserv for all the services we offered to her.
Thank you very much, Habiba, for that elaborate discussion. So if I wanted to go to the US, you have said now from passport, getting a university, all those services could be provided. So just you can elaborate a little bit on visas, because that's also a big issue. If I have an opportunity to study in the UK and I have my visa, how do you come in to help me now?
Sorry, if you have an opportunity, please repeat the question again. Sorry, I didn't get that.
Assume today a candidate has been admitted in a university in the UK, not through Unicef. Are you still able to assist them to get their documents ready and everything?
Yes, we do. We actually do have an in-house lawyer and different visa departments. So we do have a UK visa department. We have the States, Canada, and Australia. So as long as you also don't apply through us, you can actually access our services by just walking into the office and asking for help, depending on the university that you've applied to, and they'll be happy to advise you and assist you in the visa application process.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that insightful information. Now, probably we introduce in Saida. Saida, welcome to this program. And just tell us if you paid anything. I think now.
let's start with the money. We're all Kenyans here, yeah. So actually, like Habiba said, and funny enough, now I find myself in the same industry. I, as a student, found it a bit hard to believe that people would be doing this out of the kindness of their heart, you know? I was like, this doesn't add up. There must be a catch. They're going to steal money from me by the end of this process. I know it. But in fact, it sounds too good to be true, but it is genuinely the truth. They help you with everything. So I'm going to go over the recruitment process for most students, especially for our audience today. Because they might not know what it entails. So the first step, what normally happens is you meet people like Habiba or her colleagues at a fair, and it's usually held by them, like Unicef or any other agency. And there they'll have other universities, many universities from the UK, from the US, from Europe, basically different universities there representing, you know, their university. They'll have an agent there. And they'll be giving out prospectuses, you know, giving students information on how to get in. So once you've made a selection based off, you know, your first opinion of the schools at these fairs, you go home, discuss with your parents, and you make the best decision for you. But if you have a bit of difficulty with that, again, Unicef comes in there, like she mentioned with career counseling. They kind of help steer you in the right direction. And for me personally, I already knew I wanted to be a lawyer because my mom always told me I answered back too much, you know. She said, you talk back so much, you need to be a lawyer. So it always stuck in my head. But if you're not lucky like me, you didn't know what you wanted to be, you go to Unicef, they sit you down, and they even help you kind of talk to, I think, lecturers for certain universities. They have events where they kind of give students more insight on what specific courses require. So once you've made your decision, you go to Unicef, you make the application to the particular university. It can be 1, it can be 3. I think you have a limit of up to 5. And then from there, you wait for an offer. It's literally like, as a lawyer, I'm going to explain it in a lawyer sense. You're given an offer, you know, and these are the terms of the offer. So it can be either a conditional or unconditional offer. So a conditional offer means there are conditions that the person has to fulfill first in order to make that offer unconditional. So most universities you'll see, for example, the university I work for now, the Montfort University, if it's for law, for instance, they will want, you know, 120 UCAS points. If it's a KCSE student, they're looking for anybody with a B+ and above. They'll also want a personal statement, and they will also want copies of your transcripts and a copy of your national ID, and then just fill in an application form and you send it to the JMU, and a Uniserv agent will help you with that application as well. And in some instances, I think they even give talks on how to help you with your personal statement. So once now you get that offer, you accept it, then you're officially a member of that university, and now the visa process. And that's where people like Habiba also will come in. So you see Uniserv's role is quite central to the recruitment process. They literally hold your hand throughout, from the first step to even getting you there with the visa. They've even got an in-house visa advisor who used to work for the British High Commission. So she's from a very informed position. She's giving you that genuine advice that will help you avoid, getting your visa rejected, which, trust me, is a very traumatizing experience. I've been there. So, but you see, I'm living proof that even if you got your visa rejected 1 year, it doesn't mean you can't apply again. You'll end up there, So there's little tiny things that you really have to follow. And that's where Unicef comes in, and they kind of make sure you avoid making these mistakes so you can get there.
The explanation, just to make us also think about the free process. But we wish to understand, Saida, as a lawyer studying in the UK, probably you can give us an experience. All of us wish to be lawyers until papers are asked and we score an in.
Yeah.
So what is the experience in studying law in the UK, and how is it different from the law we have maybe in this country? Just some of the differences you can mention.
So let's start off with the fact that the Kenyan legal system is based off the British legal system, common law system. Obviously, we know that we were previously a colony, but what that means is us, together with most of Commonwealth countries, basically have adapted that common law system. And the common law system, you're going to have to do a law degree to get into it, but this is what it is, simply is. It basically is a system of law whereby, let's say, for example, cases decided by a particular court, a superior court, are binding now on lower courts. And that law will apply from the UK all the way to Kenya. So in fact, you will see in most of our acts, they're borrowed from the UK, so much so that some of them still have British sterling pounds in the acts. For example, the Sale of Goods Act. But I'm going to get into how you manage to apply for a law degree in the UK and how you survive it and what options you have available to you after. So like I explained, once you've met the likes of Habiba at the fair and you've gone through the entire recruitment process, you're now at the stage of applying for a visa. You wait for something called a confirmation of acceptance of studies, which is short form for, in short form is a CAS. The CAS statement basically is the university saying, this student has been accepted by university. This is the fee they're paying. Give them the visa. And that's the most important document for you for the visa process. So once you've got your CAS, you have to also now keep a certain amount of money in the account for a period of not less than 30 days. Now that amount will depend on the tuition fee that you're paying and plus a £9,000 living cost for that. So that will vary according to what course you're picking or what area of, what course you're picking or what university you're picking as well. So once you've gotten your visa, best day of your life, by the way, but once you've got your visa and you're now officially, going to the UK, you're going for university, start university, and it's a very tedious 3 years. I would advise anybody, especially Kenyans, if you're there, get a job. I personally had 3 jobs through university. That's a bit excessive, but it depends now on you and your capabilities. Are you able to balance work life and school life? And once that happens, once you've finished your degree officially, then you kind of have to decide, do you want to pursue further studies in the UK, legal studies? Do you want to pursue a legal career there, or do you want to come back home and make your country a better place? Depending on you, if you stay in the UK, you can either be a solicitor, and that's you take the LPC route. And a lot of people choose to do that because some people are even lucky enough to get what's called a training contract, where some of the world's biggest law firms come scout you and recruit you directly from university. So they'll give you a particular training contract for a sum of money, let's say it will be £30,000, and that training contract basically entails you doing your LPC on the law firm's dime and also working for the law firm side by side. So again, you're working and studying, which is why I advise you just start working a little bit on the side. It will help to train you, because honestly, I believe you're never too old to study. Studies can continue, you know. So as if you want to do the LPC, alternatively, you want to be a barrister, you'd go the BPAT route. I think it was called BPAT at my time. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now it's called a grad course or postgraduate degree. I don't know. And that can cost up to £20,000 a year. That's the expensive option. If you want to go back, home. Again, it's not a simple route, but it's a much cheaper route. So what that involves is enrolling yourself at, in fact, don't even go. You go to Council of Legal Education, CLE, and you go to them with your British law degree and you say, I have a degree from the most amazing university in the UK and all these great things. And they'll tell you that's great, but there's 14 other subjects that you need to fulfill. So go to Riara University, and whatever subjects that you've not done yourself, you kind of mix and match. See, they will tell you which subjects to do. So let's say there's a list of 14 mandatory. I don't know them offhand, but I know they include criminal law, family law. If you've not done those, you have to do them at Riara for as many semesters as it takes you. It took me, I think, a total of 2 semesters to clear 6 or 8 subjects. I'm not sure. But that's literally less than 6 months. So once you've done that, you've got your official, you've finished Riara, you've completed these subjects, you go back to CLE and you say, okay, I've done it. Now I'm ready to officially start the Kenya School of Law. The Kenya School of Law is what you have to do in order to be an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. That's if you really want to be a lawyer. But some people use their law degrees for other things. You can use a law degree for just about anything. And I'll go into a bit more of that when I tell you about my personal journey. But once now you get to Kenya School of Law, there are 9 mandatory subjects that you have to pass. And they range from the likes of probate, law and administration, civil litigation, criminal litigation, all these things. They basically, your law degree, your LL.B, is literally just like, I wouldn't say it's an accessory, but it's kind of like a ticket that gets you into the room. Now, in order for you to make yourself known in that room, you need your Kenya School of Law qualification. So you have to be an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. Once you qualify as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya now, your name is officially entered on the roll of advocates, and then now you can practice as an advocate in Kenya. That's if you want to be a lawyer. And it's honestly, it's not impossible. Anyone can do it. But if you want to use your degree to do something else, law is very versatile. You can use a law degree for just about anything. In fact, right now I'm taking a small break from the law, and I'm currently the regional representative for Montfort University, the regional manager for East Africa, Southern Africa, and some other parts of Africa. And my boss knew when he interviewed me that I would be a perfect fit for the role. Reason being, he could see, the skills that come with a law degree are so wide range. They're so wide. You could fit just about any job, So there's time management, there's being diligent, there's being professional, being able to lead a crowd or speak, negotiate. There's so many skills that you gain pursuing a law degree that, like I said, you could even work in a bank. You could ask Obama, he has a law degree. So that just shows you the versatility of a law degree.
I think I leave at it as Ask Obama, and we
ask
wait
Obama. For you can quote me. Quote me. Ask Obama.
Before we come to your now life, so that you can give us the story about yourself, we want to give a shout out to those who have joined us. We start with Sami Mushai, who is joining us. Thank you very much. He's saying very insightful, Habiba. Thank you very much. Dominic Ogake, thank you for joining. Mushai Mary, Tokyo Coco, he has a very nice question. He's asking, are you able to practice law in Kenya now? Maybe you will answer it when we answer questions. Oscar is tuned in from Muranga University. We have Salma Maina, very insightful. We have Mushai again, Mary. We have Nur Ket. We have Kawe Kubu. We have Wamuyu Madenge, and many more others. Thank you very much for tuning in. We look forward to answering your questions. Keep them coming. Ask Obama. The sister is here. Now, Saida, before we ask Obama, tell us now your experience, maybe your journey. You can also just share your experience, your journey as a lawyer, so that a student who is out there can be able to make a decision whether I want to do law, I want to do engineering, I feel I'm good in mathematics. Yes.
That was what I was trying to capture when I said, you know, you could work anywhere. Like the sky is your limit. I feel like pursuing a law degree in the UK opened doors for me that would not have been opened if I had, not to put down Kenyan degrees, because I think we have amazing institutions here, we have amazing universities, but studying abroad definitely opens you to a multitude of opportunities that you wouldn't necessarily be exposed to. If I could show you a glimpse of my CV, you would see for yourself. Like I said, when I was in university, I had 3 jobs. I worked in a shop. I worked, you know, as a linguist and translator. I worked, you know, doing just about any job I could. And now when an employer looks at my CV, he's like, whoa. I mean, it looks a bit like you don't have much direction, but it also looks like you have accumulated a long list of skills. Now, legally, I was able to actually shadow a judge in the UK. That was, for me, the best experience of my legal career, because I don't think I would have had that opportunity if I was in Kenya. So his name was, let's not go into his name, Judge Bartfield. It was Judge Bartfield, and it was Bradford Crown Court, and I was in the family court, and I saw things that, man, I don't think there's no Dr. Phil or Oprah episode in this world that could compare you for just how many issues there are in the world. And sitting by the side of a judge, I got to feel like for a second, like if I work hard enough, it's attainable for me. And seeing this man deliver judgments that changed families' lives for the good. And that's the main thing. Being in the UK, no offense to our Kenyan legal system, but let's admit the flaws. They're not to say that it's a perfectly well-oiled machine, but it's good to see a machine that works in a way, and being able to sit in those courtrooms and hear the dialect the barristers were speaking, the you know, the etiquette when they presented in front of a judge. No offense to Kenyan lawyers, but my God, it's a work of art. It's like something from the movies. And physically being there to experience it for yourself. Generally, I would leave every day that privileged experience just feeling like, whoa, I can't wait to be a lawyer and then eventually a judge and make this world a better place. But now, unfortunately, the opportunities weren't necessarily at the time because of the immigration situation with Theresa May in office. There weren't a lot of opportunities for foreign students. However, now there's a pendulum swing. Everything has switched. Boris has actually done one good thing in the UK. Boris Johnson is the current prime minister. Boris has introduced the graduate immigration route, which basically means every student that has studied in the UK, after having completed their degree, is entitled to apply for a 2-year work visa. So in that 2 years, you have 2 years to look for a job for yourself. And I think that is giving a lot of Kenyans great opportunities. We've seen our nurses being taken there and their families abroad, you know, giving their families the opportunity to live abroad and study abroad and all these amazing things. So I feel like students need to also look at the long term, especially our postgraduate students. You need to look at not just, you know, you, yourself, your future, your family's future. You know, the Kenyan economy is going to continue growing and it's exciting to watch. But definitely, if you can spend a few years working in a foreign economy, especially a first world economy, that will teach you things that I don't think you will have learned just having practiced or lived here all your life.
Wow. That's clear. Now, somebody's asking here a question. How much did your law degree cost? You know, the problem is cost. Were you self-sponsored?
So I was lucky enough. I did really well in my A-levels. And the university I was in, which is the University of Leeds, was kind enough to give me a really good scholarship. It wasn't a lot, but it was about £1,500 to £2,000. And it helped my parents out a lot. In fact, I'll be honest, I didn't even tell my parents. My parents would pay the full fee and the uni would give me back my scholarship money back. So it was a nice way to but I would say at my time, it cost £11,000 for my degree. That was including the scholarship. So without the scholarship, it was £13,000. But now I know inflation, COVID, everything, the prices have gone up. Our university at Montfort, we're currently offering a law degree at £14,750. However, we have something called an early discount, early application discount. So if you apply, so law is an undergraduate degree, LL.B, so the intake is for September. So let's say for September 2021, if you had submitted your application, been accepted, paid your deposit by June of 2021, you'd be entitled to £2,000 off, a waiver just off. And that will be for the first year only. So currently at DMU, we are offering a law degree for £14,750. However, I'm not sure about other universities. I just know that's for DMU. So with a discount, that could easily take you down to $12,250. Should we do the maths so we can do the conversions in shillings?
Actually, that's the issue now. You know, pounds, and you speak of pounds.
Even I have around the park figure. I'm not sure, but I know it's something.
I understand.
14,000. Okay, I'll say 14,250. It's either 250 or 750, but let's start with 250. That's 2.1 million. And then 14,750 will be 2.2 million. So between 2.1 to 2.2 million, depending on the rate of the pound, depending also, that's without a discount, mind you. And then also, we need to think about the fact that it's a 3-year degree. So a lot of people mistake and think that it's a one-time payment and that's your degree sorted. No, it's a 3-year degree. That's your tuition fee for first year, second year, third year. And that does not include your accommodation or your living costs. So let's just agree about one thing. It's very costly. It's very expensive, but scholarships are available. Okay, first and foremost. Secondly, the benefits that come with it are, honestly, I don't think you could put a number on the opportunities that you could get after. So,
wow. That's it. So, Saida, somebody's asking a question here. Mburu is asking, this is a great inspiration, but what is the difference between study abroad and exchange program?
Okay, so from my understanding, from my personal experience, we had the option so studying abroad is like you're leaving Kenya, you're going to go pursue a degree. If it's a law degree for 3 years, you're going to be stuck in England doing your law degree. When you're through, you know, that's it. You'll either work there or work here. But an exchange program now is, so you studied abroad, you're in the UK, but you have an option in your second year or third year. You can spend that year, instead of in the UK, in a different university anywhere in the world, whether it's in the US, it's in France, and you'll be paying your school fees, the same school fees, but then you'll have to foot your own bills on accommodation. So I had a few friends that actually did a year abroad in Paris, and they came back, especially the people who were doing law in French, they came back, you know, with a better understanding of the French legal system, and they graduated with a really great understanding of the British and French legal system. So if you can afford to do a year abroad or do an exchange program, I would definitely encourage you to do it, because I honestly think being educated to the ways of the world is generally how we can prosper and succeed in today's generation. It's not enough to just have, you know, A stars straight. You need to know what it's like to clean a few tables, mop a few floors, and see how they do it in Rome, how the Romans do it in Rome, how the French do it in Paris, how the British do it in London. I think that's an amazing way to learn and just become a better and more international citizen.
Yeah, you've mentioned something, Saida, which also needs to just get to understand. You said other than studying law, you are doing other things, doing other jobs not related to law. That is not very common to students, especially those who have gone to Campo. Do you know going to Campo, Maju? They feel entitled that they need to be given management roles immediately they are done. How you are humbled in UK to do such what we could call manual jobs, yet you are Maju. I don't know if you get it.
Maju, but my parents are constantly reminding me to humble myself, you know? I was told every day, zile pesa zetu si pesa zako. shukuru Mungu umpelekwa huko, umepata opportunity, lakini si lazima tukupatie, you know. So that made me realize every time I ask for more money, I'm like, my parents told me, get a job. What do you mean? What do you mean this is not enough? This is not good enough. Go get a job for yourself. That way you can afford all the extracurricular activities you want to partake in. And that was like a switch went off in my head. I said, you know what? That's actually so smart. My parents at that point were paying my rent and paying my food. So extra pocket money for things like outfits to go out with my friends or for nights out, for dinners with friends, I would really struggle. And I had friends whose parents were very blessed, were politicians or were very successful businessmen. So they were constantly flaunting their wealth in my face. And obviously it felt a little bit intimidating. But now my akili zangu, my skills, my, you know, everything about me was like, nah, I'm not gonna sit with the rich kids and lie to myself. I'm different from them. So I need to humble myself and really just get a job. And at the end of the day, those rich kids, their money would be through before the end of the month. And because I had 3 jobs, I was always better off than them. So at the end of the day, it ended up working in my favor, and I built my CV. So by the time I graduated, the other kids would have no experience on their CV and would be a lot less enjoyable than me. Even if I worked in an industry that's not directly related to law, just having to be in that mindset where you have to clock in every morning, every evening at a strict time, you know, you have to dress a certain way, you have to abide by certain rules. That definitely instilled an amazing sense of work ethic in me. And I'm glad to say that I still have it today.
Wow, thank you very much. Now, maybe we can give it a quick again some time to mention about your current university, what your university does, and your current role. Probably now they can relate law and working. Now, I've seen you are very flexible. You can do any job, but maybe you relate what are you doing currently and what does your university offer maybe to students who may wish to study abroad.
So I'm currently the in-country manager, but also regional representative for Montfort University, which is based in Leicester in the United Kingdom, which is why I mentioned, you know, the versatility and the ability of a law degree to work in just about any field. So right now I'm managing a whole part of this continent without necessarily having the prior experience, but my skills definitely made me a good fit for the job. Now, a lot of people are shocked. Why would you leave law? Why would you? COVID impacted a lot of people in a lot of different ways. And I personally, my whole life, I've always said, I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a lawyer. But COVID didn't put me in the best position financially. And at that point in time in my life, law just was not, you know, fulfilling me, it wasn't satisfying me in many ways, whether it's my spirit, my soul. It's a very long, difficult profession to get into, and the work hours are insane. I'm not saying that to say I'm lazy and I don't want it, but I went through a lot of personal things in my life. I lost a few very important people in my life, and it didn't make sense to me to be stuck in an office, 4 walls, for more than 8 hours a day. Sometimes you can go up to 12 hours in an office. And I'll be honest with you, it's when you're mentally not in a good place, to be put down a lot by your employer is not an ideal position. So I made this decision to leave that particular profession because I wanted a bit more time to myself. And I have an amazing job with an amazing team that I work with. And I have the ability to work from home and help students who are exactly in the same position I was in just a few years ago. So for me, this is the most fulfilling job. Like, I feel like I got played. I could have done this job a long time ago. So I know for a fact, because of my law degree, my experience working in the UK, you know, like I said, my work ethic and all these other skills I've managed to get over the years is what's helped me get here. So it's not to say I've canceled law. No, absolutely not. Never say never. I'm more than happy to dabble into it when I feel like it's the right time for me in my life.
Sorry.
Okay.
James is asking through the WhatsApp, if I didn't do law as my first degree, can I be able to do a master's in law in the UK? How is the system?
You actually can. I have a friend who did a degree in international relations as a bachelor's, and he pursued an LLM. They're called LLMs, Masters in Law. So it is possible. It's very possible. But my understanding is it has to be, your bachelor has to be a degree that is somehow related to, like IR and law. I think they belong to the same faculty always. Business as well, probably you'd be able to. I don't know if you've done a bachelor's in something like engineering. I don't know if you'll be able to do an LLM, but don't quote me.
Okay. So somebody has mentioned about salary. When we talk about degrees, we do some courses because of the salary. And the way they look at how Saida is looking, they say, Saida must be earning very well. They're asking here, the salary rates in Kenya are lower than abroad, and most graduates from abroad expect to be paid highly in Kenya. What has been your experience with that?
Oh, absolutely. I earned a lot more as a shop assistant than I did as a lawyer in Kenya. That's the truth.
Wow.
I was making really good money as just a shop assistant. Then again, it wasn't a normal shop. It was Harrods, but still, it was crazy to me. How am I standing in a shop selling designer bags and handbags and shoes, and I'm making more money than a person who's had to study for 7 years to get a degree? It doesn't make sense. But that's because of a number of things. We have issues like inflation. Our currency is quite low. Our GDP per capita as a whole. All these factors you have to take into consideration. So obviously, that's why I'm saying right now, for if students want to go abroad, this is the perfect opportunity for you to go and settle and start a professional career there. Kenyans have a reputation abroad as being very hard workers. And any government knows we are a complete asset for them. I think even someone said Trump had mentioned once that Kenyans were hardworking. I personally, I don't believe it, but someone had told me that even Trump recognized, even if Trump knows, then it's a thing. So because of Brexit, it's kind of just opened up this door for us. There's kind of this a vacuum that needs to be filled, because a lot of Eastern European workers were doing a lot of the jobs the British didn't want to do and couldn't do because they're not educated enough. But now, because of Brexit, a lot of them have been forced to leave. So now there's a huge vacuum. They need to fill it, and they're looking at the Commonwealth. And Kenya was a colony. So, like I said, this is the perfect opportunity.
Wow. Thank you very much. Maybe I'll give you some few minutes again to talk about maybe your university. Then the name is hard to pronounce. Where you work?
Montfort. Yeah, Montfort University. So we're based in Leicester. We offer over 300 programs, ranging from some of the coolest computer courses. We have one of the best computer schools and art and design schools. And our programs are, I would say, very different from most universities because they are more focused on industry. So we have industry-leading professionals who come in to help us design our courses. For example, I'll give you one to name a few. The likes of Vivienne Westwood and Stella McCartney personally are involved in the, fashion design, textile, those courses. They're involved in, creating the syllabus and designing what's needed. Because now what happens when these professionals come in, they kind of are creating the perfect employee for their organizations. And we don't just have normal people coming in to design. It's industry-leading professionals. Rolls-Royce is involved with our engineering department. IBM, computers, Microsoft as well for our computer software team, and cybersecurity programs. I mean, all these amazing institutions are involved, and they also come in and offer kind of placement years or internships. So by the time you graduate, that coupled with our 93% employability rate, which we have, and also DMU Worked, which is an organization basically dedicated to making sure your CV is tailor-made to fit any job that you apply for. You acquire the right skills along, your time of study. That's why I'd say Uni of Leeds fell short, because I kind of had to do all of that myself. Although I got a lot of help from the employability service in the school, they weren't as hands-on. I kind of had to do everything myself. DMU is very hands-on. They want to make sure you're okay, not just in university, but also after you leave, to make sure now our kids are getting these jobs, the most sought after jobs.
Wow. Actually, that's now a big contradiction to our education system. In Kenya, we have a lecturer in entrepreneurship who has never owned even a kiosk.
Yeah.
We have people who are teaching. For example, you'll find a student will score first class, they go do their masters, they start teaching, and they are teaching the syllabus they were taught. What do you think need to be done in Kenya now, given that the exposure you have gotten? You said you came back to change the country. What can we do in this country?
We're gonna need to dedicate a whole separate talk if we want to touch on that. But I can touch briefly on it. I think I had a conversation with a previous teacher who's also involved in the same industry as me now, and she was saying that the KCSE syllabus and system as a whole is being reviewed. In fact, they're gonna remove it and introduce something that's more likened Cambridge. And I think that's a really good starting point, because let's be honest, KCSE helps students who want to work in Kenya. It doesn't help students in any other way. I personally don't think. And the reason I say that is I would compare, my colleagues in university who went through that system, and they definitely had to struggle a bit more than the likes of us. But I think this new system should help out a bit. Our university system, I can't speak on it because I've never had to experience. I mean, I did indirectly with Riara, but that was a private university. So I feel like Riara also was good. I thought for the money we were paying, I thought it was a bit like a high school. So you feel very sheltered and protected. So in that sense, I think it's good. But you cannot compare any of these institutions to the ones abroad, which is why I would really push students, even if it's not your bachelor's. You can do your bachelor's here, but make sure if you get an opportunity, if it's your PhD, it's your master's, whatever it is. And there's so many scholarships and fundings available. There's for different countries. So I would say just give it a shot, because honestly, the world is your oyster. But if you stay here, you stay in the Kenyan way of thinking. I don't know how to explain it without sounding a bit Darawish.
Nice. Yeah, somebody has realized you have a different career. Mm-hmm. Someone has identified a new career for you. Tokyo is saying you make an excellent politician.
That's what I'm going for.
Really insightful. Are you considering that?
Maybe someday in the future. Never say never, hey?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so thank you very much for that. I think it has been anything you could mention as we wind up. We have some few minutes to wind up.
I think I've talked for Kenya, but please get in touch with me if you guys would like any more information on how to go through this entire process. I think for the process, definitely get in touch with Habiba. But if it's in specific, like if it's about DMU, or if you want to pursue a law degree and you just want to speak to someone who's gone down that route and what options are available to you after, feel free to get in touch. I think I've tried to cover everything from the recruitment process, to what options are available to you once you complete your degree, to also my personal journey. So I think I've spoken enough.
Wow, thank you very much. We'll give Habib to conclude the discussion, but before that, Douglas Omawa says, Saida, really very resourceful. The information we are learning from her is a whole mind changing. It's in motivational that we can make it to international academic level. They are very,
absolutely,
very
because we deserve it. Like Kenyans are so hardworking, and our work ethic, if you compare our work ethic in Kenya to people abroad, honestly, I don't want to swear, but honestly, we're doing really well. Okay. And we need to give our students that opportunity.
Yes. So thank you very much, Saida. Habib, how do you feel when your students speak so well of your institution?
I feel like we're well represented. I mean, I don't think I need to add on anything. I feel like Saida has really touched on everything we do in terms of like student support and assisting students with the application process. She's also spoken about her experience as a student itself. And I mean, she's given you all the points. So I would advise students to actually visit us to get more information. If you want us to link you up with Saida or other alumni who've been through the whole process as well, we do have quite a number on the portfolio who usually speak to our students. Aside from that, we also offer like taster courses for students who are not very sure what they want to study. So we would link you up with different lecturers from different universities, and they would do a tester session with you to just explain exactly how they do the courses there. So if it's law, they'll talk about law, how, for example, they'll do a demo on how law is actually taught, and you're able to experience this before you actually decide whether law is for you or if you want to stick to IR, that sort of thing. Yeah. So
Wow.
I feel like Saida has done wonderfully well. She's touched on everything that we do for students. So I would advise them to come to Uniserv.
Wow, thank you very much for that. Saida and Habib, thank you very much for this discussion. We are having a discussion with Uniserv for the next 3 months. We are exploring studying in different countries. The other month, we spoke about Europe. There was a lot of interest. We have spoken about UK. Probably next week, we'll be speaking about China and another country across the globe. So thank you very much, Uniserv, for the insightful information and for bringing Saida, whom now we can make sure she becomes a politician. The votes are many. Yeah, so we wish to appreciate all of you, those who have watched us, for those who have been able to comment, those who have been able to share. Thank you very much for listening to Corporate Career Academy, Uniserv. We are here to give information. I was telling Saida before we started speaking, if young boys are misbehaving, we blame the bigger boys. Maybe manners came from the bigger boys. So we thought it's for us who are bigger boys in the industry, we train the young men how to behave so that they don't misbehave. So thank you very much, Uniserv and Saida, for, I think you have understood what I'm saying. I'm not saying anybody has misbehaved. Yeah, for this discussion, we look forward to another day. And for those who are watching us, may God bless you. Have a good day. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
Corporate career responsibility is a call to all experts and consultants to give back their time, skills, knowledge, and expertise to mentor and nurture future industry leaders. Are you passionate in nurturing future industry leaders and professionals who will take enterprise to a higher level? Corporate Career Academy, together with Student TV, is giving you an opportunity to share your